and other areas. Starting point is not the same as here in the GCC, but you will also find that this region overall is one of the fastest growing regions in the world when it comes to usage of technology. In particular, technology that is linked to mobile and software that is linked to actually enabling the business. Right? So that is a great comparison that allows us to sort of see the difference in going forward. The evolution in spending, again, has evolved. You have these numbers in the press release from a specific perspective, so I'm not going to cover them. Obviously, the numbers you have are specific for the region. They exclude the North Africa portion, but I wanted to show this simply because I think it's an important way to look at it. Two important points is there is a couple of things that need to happen in this market, which you all are very well aware of, is that you need to develop a local services market. The world is about software and service. In order to develop a market, we need to see an acceleration of that from a local perspective in many parts around the world, and it is true here. Only 9% of IT services are delivered by what would be defined as locally headquartered. Right? I mean, all companies are local, but locally headquartered organizations. And we believe it is important that regions develop its own centers of excellence in which you have capability to serve, because this is the only way you can get the real user experience developed into the offerings going forward. If this is about understanding the local consumer and the local user, you will need to have local experience that designs around the human being and the experience that the human being needs to have in order to be able to differentiate. And this becomes the biggest challenge for global suppliers and global vendors, is really to understand that in the world that we're moving into, when you don't design around a process, so keep in mind, Oracle and SAP have imposed or delivered innovation around process, but it is one way of thinking. And that process then uses data that is predefined, and that defines how people work everywhere around the world. Where we need to get to is the complete opposite. We need to design around how people want to work and how consumers use technology. We need to understand that we need data both from the system and externally, and that should define the process. And that is why we need to therefore have local expertise evolve, and I think this becomes critical in this region.